Right now, Gun is on an absolute rampage and is tearing through the entire second gen cast, and to stop him, it seems the best thing Eugene could do is assemble the Fraud Squad and Gun's children. So in order to help Eugene, I think it'd be fun if we created someone capable of beating not only Gun, but the entire Lookism cast. To do this, we'll be using several aspects that make fighters what they are within Lookism. Those things being speed, strength, durability, technique, martial art, battle IQ, and a special trait. And when I say special trait, I mean things like the Animal Instinct, Ultra Instinct, or the Heat mode. Before we begin, I'd like to ask if you could subscribe to help the channel, and also be sure to follow Villain, who makes thumbnails for not only me, but also YouTubers like VMAT as well. So with all that being said and out the way, let's begin with the most straightforward category, which is strength. As far as physical strength goes, I think we could easily go with either Basement Hulk, Taesu, Tom Lee, or Mondyak, who in some of the more recent chapters has shown feats of being able to break Gun's arm with the help of Yu Sung, I believe, but he also was just shown to be able to match him physically, going blow for blow with him. Next, we'll go over speed, and to be honest, there's no one we can really choose besides James Lee himself. He essentially has the highest level of invisible attacks in the verse and speed along with that, only really second to possibly Charles and Seong Ji, unless I'm forgetting something or Kim So Yeon has a new card that makes him faster than light. And maybe not even Seong Ji. Yes, Seong Ji got the jump on him once he got the speed mastery. However, once James got strength mastery, it seemed to boost all of his stats, as he completely blitzes Seong Ji right after. So I'm going to be betting on James for this stat. Now, for durability, this one is also very easily straightforward. Even though this list is to beat Gun, that doesn't mean we can't take something to match him. So for durability, I'm going to take Guns. I don't think we've ever seen anyone aside from Gu really land a punch strong enough to damage Gun. During the entire second gen fight, he hasn't really blocked. He's kind of just eating everything thrown at him. Unless you're tossing 3 ambulances at him or you're Ryuhei for some reason, he won't ever really dodge your strikes. And without a doubt, Gun's durability is just the way to go, especially after the newest chapter. I won't say too much, just go read it. Next, as far as technique goes, this might be a weird pick and it might not make too much sense, but I'm probably gonna pick UI Daniel. He's able to utilize any martial art perfectly, and I think it's reasonable to assume that he's at least equal to James as far as technique goes, if not superior, just because he seems to be the perfect being in any way. This is just a bit of a wild one, plus he uses fundamentally similar abilities to James, who has the technique mastery. Now for martial art, I figure it doesn't really matter much. I guess the stats kind of complement the style more than anything. That being said, I think the best style for this fighter would have to be MMA. It's an all-around style, and since our fighter is pretty much the most versatile fighter in the verse, I think a versatile fighting style complements him best. If you guys watch the UFC, think of it as someone like Demetrius Johnson, who's probably the best mixed martial artist ever, with the strength of Francis Ngannou, the striking mastery of Max Holloway, and the jiu-jitsu excellency of Charles Oliveira. And next for IQ, it's easily going to be James Lee. He's the smartest person in the verse due to his genius status, and we see all the trophies. I don't think you can really argue anyone else being smarter unless James isn't Charles Choi, and if he's not, then Charles Choi is probably the smartest. However, that theory is yet to be disproven, and I plan to go over it in another video. And finally, for the last trait, I've decided to go with the undefeated, unbeaten Yamazaki Ultra Instinct. And this is because we basically have to use it. It essentially slows the user's perception of time, and as we've already seen, Gun doesn't really do well against other UI users. He basically got battered and almost died against UI Daniel. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, like, Gun was literally on his back with Daniel on top of him, and his arm was broken. With all that being said, I think we've done it. This is probably the strongest fighter in Lookism, or really all of PTJ. However, let me know what you guys think, and did I create a character capable of beating Gun, or even a Gabrielle Kim? Or would he get smoked like basically everyone else right now?